Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now March 6th of 2024, and I'm sure that the majority of you out there already know about the drama surrounding Sweet Baby Inc. and CEO Kim Belair. We know that there's a lot of things happening right now with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, along with other many aspects of course, the video game world and how it's now connecting to the film industry, and we're going to be talking about exactly what's going on with Star Wars and Sweet Baby Inc. and how Kathleen Kennedy and Kim are dead center in the middle of all of this. Let's discuss. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So for those of you that have no idea who in the world Sweet Baby Inc. really is, well, first things first, it's a company/organization that pushes DEI narratives onto mainly video games. And now the overall plan by Kim, the CEO of this company, is partnering with many different studios that handle these video games, and specifically ones that are connected to major brands like Star Wars, for example, to really enhance their agenda in that overall realm of things. Now, what's interesting about this is that we know that Kathleen Kennedy is doubling down on her usage of DEI and doing everything possible to make that enhanced for the years to come. Now, not only is she doing this with the upcoming Star Wars TV shows and the upcoming Star Wars films, but there's also an elaborate plan by Kathleen Kennedy partnering up with EA and Respawn Entertainment to really enhance that DEI narrative with the help of Sweet Baby Inc. for the third installment of the upcoming Jedi video game. Let's discuss. Now, on top of all of this, alright, we know that Lucasfilm is already in shambles to begin with. However, with Sweet Baby Inc.'s CEO Kim Belair, or Belair, mind me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, already the one responsible for pushing DEI narratives in Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and certain story elements. One major development has to do with her partnership with Lucasfilm, Electronic Arts, and Respawn Entertainment in a desperate move to enhance her agenda and what Sweet Baby Inc. believes in the Star Wars world. A shocking turn of events is that Kathleen Kennedy of Lucasfilm recently held a meeting with EA and Respawn over using Sweet Baby Inc. and that this company was handpicked by Kathleen Kennedy to use for characters in the third installment of the Jedi series. The grand plan here is to add DEI narratives to the Star Wars video game characters that are now officially planned behind the scenes to eventually receive adaptations into live-action form in both TV shows and Star Wars feature films, one of which being Cal Kestis and other main characters from the hit series that will receive DEI narratives in the third installment from Sweet Baby Inc. that Kathleen Kennedy sought out and pressed this company on both EA and Respawn. Surprisingly, both EA and Respawn welcomed Sweet Baby Inc., Kim, of course, Belair, the CEO, to insert DEI into many upcoming Star Wars video game titles. Most notably, video game characters that are, of course, to eventually hit the big screen in live-action form and for Disney Plus Star Wars shows. Sweet Baby Inc. is already rapidly taking over the video game world with the most controversial game, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, that held elements created by the company and pressed upon the writers. Now, Kim is currently on a mission to help Kathleen Kennedy add DEI narratives to Star Wars on the video game side of things, not just limited to Respawn and EA, but other video game companies as well. And in turn, this is all mapped out by Lucasfilm, since Kennedy is already in the process of cherry-picking Star Wars characters from video games to be used in the Mandalorian Star Wars movie that will actually hold serious DEI agendas that are most certainly going to drive fans away from the product. Now, Sweet Baby Inc.'s CEO, Kim, has already attacked the customers of Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and plans to partner with film studios that hold major brands that go into the video game realm that offer, of course, video game side stories, so the characters can be transferred later on in a new narrative for live action. This was something that was already mapped out by Kathleen Kennedy even before the Suicide Squad drama even started, when Kim Belair was approached to enter into EA and Respawn's third Jedi game and other Star Wars titles like Star Wars Eclipse, for example. Now, Kathleen Kennedy also wants her narrative to reach out to other characters like Yoda, Luke Skywalker, and other classics like Padme and Leia in the video game area eventually before they do live-action adaptations. from, of course, the games later on into live action. Kennedy's influence on Respawn and EA, along with other companies handling other Star Wars titles for gamers, is quite strong right now, reportedly, and is only getting more intense behind the scenes. Of course, now that Kennedy of Lucasfilm pressed Sweet Baby Inc. to join the Star Wars world, already Kennedy pitched to Respawn and EA of adapting the Acolyte series characters for future games that will utilize Sweet Baby Inc. to push a certain narrative even further. It couldn't be more clear now that Kennedy and Kim's main plan is to tarnish Star Wars even further than fans could ever imagine. Now guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about this, is that not only does Kathleen Kennedy want to ruin the live-action area of Star Wars, but also the video game area of Star Wars that's going to later be used to adapt to further live-action material. Do you get what I'm saying here? It's like a vicious cycle. So basically, they are invading the Star Wars video games, whether it's made by EA and Respawn or any other developer out there. Kathleen Kennedy wants to use the source material from games and the DEI narratives that will be eventually pressed on all of that to be used in upcoming movies, TV shows, etc., etc. We already know that there's been a big push for Cal Kestis to be used in the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu Star Wars movie. We have a lot more to talk about that in the coming weeks, and why I believe Kathleen Kennedy is going to destroy the character, even, of course, beyond expectations. Now, again, we know that Star Wars is already in shambles. I think it's done for. I think that you really can't have any kind of return at this point unless you had years upon years of consistent, successful titles. You know, movies, TV shows, video games, all in a row. It would take a very long time to really convince fans that things are okay. But things are not okay right now. We know that everything related to Kathleen Kennedy, especially recruiting Kim of Sweet Baby Inc. and using her DEI narrative strategies on companies like Respawn and EA to make them even more intense with their woke agenda now, with the third installment of the Jedi series, I think is just pure garbage and drivel, and it makes you wonder to yourself, how in the world did we miss this a couple of years ago, that this was not 100% intentional? I think that at this point, it couldn't be more obvious that it is indeed 110% intentional, that they want to tarnish Star Wars just for the sake of tarnishing it and using the brand to kind of press their narrative on casual fans that may not even care about what's being pushed on into these video games or these live-action installments. So overall, this is literally an attack on Star Wars. It's an attack on everything that fans grew up with in years past. And we all saw what happened with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I'm sure that you guys know about the whole Kevin Conroy drama surrounding that, and some of the writing elements for Wonder Woman and Batman thrown in there that was influenced by Sweet Baby Inc. that pushes DEI nonsense. So overall, guys, I mean, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this company, about Kathleen Kennedy recruiting her, the CEO, and the overall company themselves. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.